think that's slightly boiling. I'm going to put one in just to see what happens. So I'll bring you with me and you can see. I can get the wire out of the way. Right. So here we have our boiling water. I may actually put it on the spoon and can you see that? Where's it gone? That's maybe a bit hot. So that's rising quite quickly. Do you fry them later with the sauerkraut? Yes. So I'll probably fry them first on their own, just to make sure we get the nice colour, and so that they've got plenty of space. I'll fry them until they're slightly crispy and then add some of the sauerkraut until that's going to cook through, and that's going to be a bit brown as well, and then we'll just serve it up like that and crumble the fake bacon on the top. Well, I don't know, this wee guy's having a lovely time in there. I think it's still too boily. It seems to be getting more aggressive than less. So I think he's about up to the top, but the bubbles are, yeah, I think we're gonna go spinning like mad. I know he's gone nuts there. So I'm going to take it out and see what we're dealing with. Oh, it's hot. I don't know why I didn't think that would be a thing. So it feels quite, almost kind of a gooey kind of consistency now. And you can actually see it looks more cooked. So I think I'm good with that. So I'm going to pop again this, it's gone from bubbling like mad to nothing at all. Right, I'm going to add some more of these and we'll just see how we go. And then once they all start rising to the top, I'll just kind of scoop the ones that rise to the top out and they'll be ready to fry. And I just hope they don't all stick together in my other bowl with them. Should maybe put them on a plate rather. Fix this temperature. Yeah, I think that seems a bit better. Because you want a bit of movement to it, but not like the first one where the wee guy was just a bit jumping out of the pot. Oh, they smell really nice. They actually smell quite similar to like potato scones, which is what we had the discussion about on Wednesday. They're like potato cakes, or what was it in the US they're called, potato pancakes. And I suppose that the ingredients are quite similar. So some of these are starting to rise to the top already. So I'll show you quickly and then I'll grab those ones out. So you can see the ones on the top, so I'll take them out, they should be ready. And then the other ones will slowly come to the top when they are cooked as well. And then it'll just be a case of frying them all off. Oh no, one broke. Yeah, they're a strange consistency now. They are quite, almost kind of slimy. I suppose that's probably from the potato and the flour. But once we fry them in butter, I'm sure that'll help. And then just try and kind of shake off as much of the water as possible. You don't want them sitting in water in this bowl. Oh, I broke another one. Meal up at the top. So I think that's the first batch is done. So you can see just how quick that is. I mean, that's literally a couple of minutes and they're all up at the top. And then that's our first lot of boiled dumplings, and then I'll pop. Again, what is going on with this? Calm down. Right, we'll pop the rest in, and then we can get our pan on. As I was saying, I think a nice one for this would be, if you didn't want to use the sauerkraut and the fake bacon, you could make these and do them in like a sage butter, because that's actually the recipe that I'm using. That's what they say to do. I could not find sage anywhere. Fresh sage doesn't seem to be a thing in Scotland. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but couldn't find it anywhere. So I had the sauerkraut here already, so I thought I'm just going to use that, and that's the way we used to eat it in Germany, but obviously with real bacon. So I do think that would be quite a nice way of doing it as well. If you could get sage, and it'd be a lot quicker, obviously you could just make them up and then just fry them in a little bit of sage and a little bit of butter. That's the next lot's all coming up to the top as well. There's something quite nice about just watching them all float to the top. Right, that's all of our dumplings in the pot. So I'll start taking out the ones. Yeah, no, I think they're okay. I was worried that when I put these in the bowl that they'll all start sticking together. But I think they'll be okay, because obviously we're going to fry them quite quickly after these are done. So hopefully they won't stick together too much. I mean, I maybe would have been better putting them on a plate with some kitchen towels, just to help them kind of dry off a little bit, but I think as long as you're careful and you kind of break them up once they're in the frying pan with the butter, you should be fine. And I think they have got a bit chunkier. They look a wee bit chunkier than they did before. Yum. Oh, I hope so. I really hope this is tasty, because I suppose it's a bit of a process. But then if you were making them, and if you were a big fan of them, you could just make double the amount of the dough and then freeze half of it. Or I'm sure you could make them up and then freeze them, and then you don't have to go through the whole process again. Next time you want them, you can just grab them out of the freezer and either make them up or just fry them up from there. Right, I'm going to get rid of this, and then we can start to fry them off. I've got my biggest pan because I thought I'm going to probably need quite a lot of room for this. And it says to use butter rather than oil, so I'm going to go with that and just pop some butter. Come on in. Just pop some butter in the bottom of the pan. So it doesn't say, it just says a knob of butter, which is really helpful. So I'm just going to put a couple of chunks, because you can always add a bit more if you need it to be, if you want a bit more crisp on it. You can add it on, you can add some butter on later on. I think that'll do for the moment. I'll just let that heat up. And you can see there's our nice bowl full of dumplings. Yeah, and they're not sticking together too much. And then I'm going to open this now, just in case I have problems. I thought I might. Oh, for goodness sake. Although there's a trick that I've done a couple of times. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. So if you've got like a jar like this, it's really difficult to open. What is it? I think you tap the bottom of it, and then you get like a spoon or something that's got quite a thin end on, and if you put it between the jar And the lid, if it's thin enough, you can actually, obviously it's not going to work today, if you push down on the spoon, it should like loosen the vacuum. There we go.